Listen, please boycott NBC 60 Minutes this Sunday, September 17th. Don't watch NBC. Boycott. Boycott, boycott, boycott. Okay? Their ratings are so bad that they think they have to put Frumpy Dump on their 60 Minutes program. Not on my TV. Boycott NBC 60 Minutes. Thanks.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Liberals are upset. Why are liberals upset? Well, they're upset because a significant portion of the population, probably 30% of the population, probably half of liberals, have a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome. Okay, they get severely deranged at the thought of Trump, and they especially get deranged at the thought of Trump getting back in the White House. It drives them crazy. Okay, they should probably lay on somebody's couch. We definitely need to invest more in mental health services in this country because, again, we have a significant portion of the population that becomes deranged at the thought of Trump. And stories like this is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, we got to talk about Meet the Press because DNC hack Chuck Todd has decided to step down from Meet the Press, and Kristen Welker is taking his place. And Kristen Welker is interviewing Trump as her first big interview after taking over the show. And this is some segments, some previews of some of the things that Trump said in this interview that is going to air this Sunday.
Mr. President, have you thought about a potential running mate if you were to win the nomination?
I like not to think too much about that. You always do a little bit, but I really don't think it's time. I want to win. And, it's very interesting about running mates. When you get down to a vice president, they said, no, nobody's ever made that kind of a difference. It's still about the person that's going to be president. It's an important decision.
Are you leaning toward a woman?
I like the concept, but we're going to pick the best person. But I do like the concept, yes.
A lot of people noticed when Governor Noem endorsed you, there were Trump Noem signs. Do you have your eye on her?
I do. I think she's fantastic. She's been a great governor. She gave me a very full-throated endorsement, a beautiful endorsement, actually. And, it's been a very good state for me. And certainly she'd be one of the people I'd consider, or for something else maybe. But we have a lot of people. We have a lot of great people in the Republican Party.
Mr. President, if you were reelected, would you pardon yourself?
I could have pardoned myself. Do you know what? I was given an option to pardon myself. I could have pardoned myself when I left. People said, would you like to pardon yourself? I had a couple of attorneys that said, you can do it if you want. I had some people that said it would look bad if you do it, because I think it would look terrible. I said, here's the story. These people are thugs, horrible people, fascists, Marxists, sick people. They've been after me from the day I came down the escalator with Melania, and I did a great job as president. People were acknowledged. Great economy, great jobs, great this, great that. Rebuilt the military, Space Force, everything. I could go on forever. Let me just tell you. I said the last thing I'd ever do is give myself a pardon.
Let's talk about the economy. And I want to start by talking about this big standoff between the auto workers and the big three auto manufacturers. Yeah. My question for you, Mr. President, whose side are you on in this?
I'm on the side of making our country great. The auto workers are not going to have any jobs when you come right down to it, because if you take a look at what they're doing with electric cars are going to be made in China. The auto workers are not going to have any. I'll tell you what, the auto workers are being sold down the river by their leadership, and their leadership should endorse Trump. The reason is, you got to have choice. Like in school, I want school choice. I also want choice for cars. If somebody wants gasoline, if somebody wants all electric, they can do whatever they want. But they're destroying the consumer, and they're destroying the auto workers. The auto workers will not have any jobs, Kristen, because all of these cars are going to be made in China. The electric cars automatically are going to be made in China.
Welker, the new moderator of Meet the Press. First time I can say that.
I know.
It's
surreal to hear that. Great to be with you, Andrea.
And just off of this extraordinary interview, first of all, what was your impression from that exchange?
Well, I think that you heard former President Trump, who is fired up about a lot of these issues and obviously trying to draw a sharp contrast with President Biden. Manufacturing has gone up in recent years. We should say that. But you heard him, I thought it was very notable, say he'd like to win over the endorsement of the auto workers. I read back that statement from the president of the union, underscoring just how hard that's going to be. Notably, the union has not yet endorsed President Biden. But look, taking a step back, it speaks to the importance of unions in this upcoming election and of this state, Andrea. This is a state, Michigan, of course, that former President Trump won in 2016, lost in 2020. It's always quite close, and he's clearly making a very strong play for it as well. And, of course, leaning into his deal-making status, which he talks about, of course, a lot.
And, of course...
Yeah, so again, the interview hasn't come out yet, but that to me sounds like Kristen Welker was being very fair to Trump in that interview, okay? It wasn't a softball, but it wasn't like she was coming into the interview trying to grill him or with an agenda. Like, she treated Trump like he's a former president, right? She treated him with respect. I actually have, like, a lot of respect for Kristen Welker for what appears to be a pretty fair interview. Now, I haven't seen it yet, but from all the previews, there's a lot more previews than the ones I showed you guys. Again, it sounds like a pretty fair interview, right? She pushed back on some things and, you know, she did her job, right, as a journalist, okay? But apparently, the left, they don't like this, okay? They are actually attacking her and calling to boycott Meet the Press because apparently Kristen Welker sold her soul by doing the interview with Trump. Again, this is similar backlash to what CNN got for holding a town hall with Trump in which clearly, their puppet, Kaylin Collins, tried to debate Trump on stage, but they accused her of failing to fact check Trump when that's literally all she did the whole time, right? She was debating the guy. Again, these people are not living in the same world.
Hi guys, remember how proud I was of Kristen Welker? Woohoo, girl power. Well, I'm already unproud of her. Why is she interviewing this guy? We all know what he's gonna say, and we don't care. But you know who does care? His base. They love everything he has to say. So Kristen, why don't you just hand them a whole bunch of votes? Good job. What's he gonna say? The criminal justice system is corrupt. It's a Biden political move. Except when Hunter gets indicted, then the criminal justice system works perfectly. Oh, I can't take it. I don't want to see him. It's not a good thing. Kristen, I'm very disappointed with you.
I say we absolutely boycott the Meet the Press interview. Don't repost. Block Meet the Press on all socials. I'm even blocking MSNBC. I'm done with this shit. Fuck the news media if they care more about the almighty dollar than our fucking freedom. You're going to interview this traitor, give him normalcy? We're done. Done. Don't watch Meet the Press, you guys. Don't repost the videos. But go ahead and comment on their page all you want. Canceled, in my opinion. Just like CNN. Bye, bitch.
Is it me? Or is MSNBC or the NBC stations rearing their Trump-stained heads? I was informed today that there is going to be a Donald Trump interview on Sunday on NBC. I was surprised, but when you see the trickery of these people who really are pulling for the right, but don't want you to know they're pulling for the right, and they think we don't have brains to see through their tricks, let me know if you can see through the trick, okay? Just drop a comment or two and let me know. I will respond. Because I'm just curious, am I the only one who's felt this way, who feels this way? Or did somebody else see it and feel the same disappointment, discouragement, and trickery, deceit? Okay?
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? Those are people who are upset, disappointed, butthurt, triggered that Kristen Welker is doing her job as a journalist and interviewing people that she disagrees with politically, right? Again, it's amazing, right? It's amazing. I want you guys to understand, the leftists are so upset that they're basically comparing her interviewing Trump to her interviewing Hitler, right? Let's read this. Quote, he's fired up about a lot of issues, leaning into his deal-making status. Kristen Welker's commentary here is classic pundit, quote, both sides whitewashing of Trump's depravity. Disgusting. Hitler was, quote, fired up about a lot of issues and leaning into his deal-making status to Kristen Welker, right? So they're comparing Trump to Hitler. This guy says he has a Ukrainian flag in, the profile here, so it tells you everything you need to know. Brainwashed liberal. What an effing joke. As if Meet the Press wasn't on its last breath. You pull this idiotic publicity stunt. Don't give them the ratings they desperately seek. Hashtag boycott Meet the Press. Redhead Cat Scott says, hey, NBC News, this is a terrible idea. If you can't interview Trump live, don't bother. If it's not live, that means you're basically doing a Trump campaign ad. No thanks. And boycott Meet the Press. Old Carter, not sure what that means. He says, at Kristen Welker, NBC has given in and sold her soul to Donald Trump for ratings. She jumped on the Trump train and will now be using her platform to confirm the lies of Trump and the GOP, all for ratings. Chuck Todd was bad, but she's trash. Again, these people think that Meet the Press, the obviously left-wing, overtly liberal reporters on Meet the Press are Trump supporters because they interview Trump. They're doing their job as journalists and listening to people that they disagree with politically. And these people think that they're right-wing. That's how deranged these people are. That's how far apart people are in this country when it comes to their understanding of politics, guys. I want y'all to understand, okay? I mean, I feel like I pay attention to both sides of the aisle, okay? Even though I'm clearly, on the right, okay? I'm more right-leaning for sure. I think I try to see things objectively from both sides, okay? And I think objectively, taking a step back out of it, taking my own bias out of it, NBC is full of liberals, right? They are liberal, okay? They're not pro-Trump. They're very anti-Trump, okay? They're interviewing Trump because if they had any ounce of integrity as journalists, they would put aside their political viewpoints and interview the former president of the United States, be fair to him, because that is what a free press, a free and balanced press is supposed to do. But apparently, not according to the left, okay? A free press is not supposed to be free, okay? They're supposed to adhere to the demands of the left and not interview people they disagree with politically because they're afraid that people might agree with Trump, right? It's amazing. Okay, I don't think I would ever give Fox News this much backlash for interviewing Biden, right? If Fox News decided to interview Biden, I'll be like, okay, well, they're the press. They should interview Biden. Okay, I had nothing to say when Fox News interviewed Bernie Sanders. I was like, okay, well, Fox News is interviewing Bernie Sanders, right? Again, it's amazing how polarized we are, okay? But the left they have a phobia of, I think, conservatives, right? They have conservaphobia, okay? This is what they have. Trump phobia, Trump derangement syndrome. That's what's going on here. Dave Ryder says, stop giving Trump a national soapbox. Boycott NBC's Meet the Press. CNN, F around and find out, and now has the worst ratings. Don't go there, NBC. We are sick of this shit. Trump is a rapist with 91 felony indictments for insurrection, election fraud, conspiracy. Meet the Press is over, done, finished, finito. Having Trump on for a softball interview and trying to normalize him as if he isn't the most heinous criminal traitor in the history of the United States. What's next, NBC? Gonna hold a town hall for him too? Kristen Welker to interview Trump for Meet the Press launch. Nothing like kicking off your new political show with a man who attempted a coup and incited the January 6th attack. It's as if corporate media wants fascism, plus she will lose liberals forever. In these clips, Trump utters about 30 different lies and zero pushback from Kristen Welker, who instead calls him fired up and defiant and the president. This is actually worse than the CNN town hall in terms of normalizing a maniac. Yeah, so calling the former president, which is just putting respect on his title that he earned. Okay, he was the president no matter how much you dislike him. Again, apparently is that will lose liberals forever. Again, these guys are deranged. It just goes on and on and on. Of course, you got Keith Olbermann here. okay, who's also getting in on it as well too. Okay, she's already irretrievably damaged. What a disastrous stenography job with Trump. It's just funny, right? So, with that being said, as you can see, again, at least 30% of the population has a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome. They need to lay on somebody's couch and talk to them, because I don't understand why anybody would have such a derangement of a man who the only bad thing that he ever did for this country is to give this country a great economy, to have a more secure border, be respected on the world stage, okay, to have a country that was headed in a decent place, okay? We were living in a decent time under Trump. It wasn't perfect, but it was much better than what we have right now under Biden, and these people are scared to death of good times, right? Of not having their dollar be devalued. It's just so interesting. Very interesting. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.